online revolution now and spread the word. Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
Some radio stations say they play everything that rocks.
Wish I knew you when I was young.
I'm going to go ahead and write you a prescription for 2 testicles, and you feel free to get this filled out whenever you want.
We play everything that really rocks. Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Once every generation, there comes an event that alters how we perceive our world. That changes our expectations of what is possible. This is not really one of those events. But hey, Toxic Radio has a brand new studio, and that fucking rocks. So join us in celebrating our excellent new home. Toxic Radio. Awesomer than ever before. What? That is so a word.
Hey, this is Mike Busey, and when I'm not touching myself, I'm listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison from the President Steve Show, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Get infected like you would with a cheap hooker.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back, and that's that time. Except it's Sunday this week. We have a special Sunday Fun Day edition. I was on vacation, and decided not to do it through, the traditional remote, hey, I'm here, decided to wait to come in studio, and we can brighten your Sunday up. It is hot as balls out there. So hot. So hot, like, I don't know if I would go to a Phillies game tonight, that hot. But I just, some people I know do. But, I mean, fuck. How was it? Was it hot as balls?
It was really hot.
I'm going to take a guess. Cole lasted till about inning 5. Did he last till about inning 5?
Yeah, that was about when he had his meltdown.
It was a good run for him. He got more than through half the game. Mm-hmm. That was my bet. I thought inning 5.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Mike was like, I don't know if we'll get back. And I was like, you think you're going to take a 2-year-old for 9 innings of baseball. And then on a hot day, that's tough, man. But he survived. Did he enjoy it?
I think so.
Cool.
I didn't have my thing in the right place.
So, we got a lot to talk about today, guys. Is your state gross? Where does PA rank? New Jersey, Delaware. What are the grossest states in the 50 states that are eligible to be gross? Also, cicadas. They're coming, and they're coming fast, and the foodies like Mike, Toxic Mike, are excited. They come out from being underground for around 17 years. That's right. So they're considered a delicacy. We'll get into that later on. How has the pandemic changed attitudes toward wealth and a whole bunch of other shit. But, like people getting airlines landed because they couldn't use their cell phone. Right. That's right. So a lot of fun stuff. But I did go on vacation to Key West in Florida, and I do have some interesting pictures to show with you on my journey. So I figured, I show you those. I saw probably a very original beer bottle opener And I was thinking about getting this from Mike, but I didn't because I thought, like, I don't know if he would be able to handle the girth. But
I can't handle the girth.
Yeah. Well,
I can handle the girth, motherfucker.
All right. Well, Mike can handle the girth. Good for him. I wonder how he found that out. So, yeah, we got a couple pictures. We're also going to talk about men wearing tight shorts. How tight is too tight to wear shorts? And what are the warning signs that your shorts may be too tight? So we'll go up there and kind of show you. I think, Laura. So we have a problem.
What's your problem?
I don't know. I'm just like, are we showing the photos yet?
Oh,
No.
I didn't know I was supposed to. Sorry.
So this one right here, this is one Mike probably would have went crazy and danced in place for. But if you look closely, if you could zoom into the picture, it might be hard for her to do that.
Yeah,
but,
I got her.
Yeah. Well, you too. I mean, I didn't know we could do that. We can? Wow. If you notice, there's a very unique beer bottle openers there.
I think I need one of those.
Yeah. Well, you can just grab it by the shaft and just take control, right? So there's one that's
how we
painted like a
usually do it.
cock, and it's a cock beer bottle opener. It's right in the middle there. I thought that was very unique. Yeah, right in the middle. Oh, no, that's a rainbow one all the way to the left. But there's some short ones too. If anybody's into like short and stubby, some people are into the chode. Some people aren't.
I see down below. Is that Trump with like American shorts on or something? What the hell is that?
Yeah. This town caters to anything. If you go buy it, they'll sell it. So these are all beer bottle openers, and I was going to get one, but I didn't. I just couldn't bring myself up there to grab it and be like, hey, how much is this? It just felt kind of weird. I don't know.
I say go up and just grab it.
Would you have bought one?
I would have grabbed it.
Would you have bought it, though?
Of course I would
He
have
would have
bought
bought
one.
one. Of course he would.
Yeah. You know what? Next time I'm a kiosk, I'm going to get you one, Mike. They got.
That's what I. That's
they
what
went
we
People
need.
in the chat room already also agree. Matt thinks that you bought one straight up.
Oh yeah.
No haggling.
No haggling. No, I would have definitely haggled. Fuck that. I'm
How
not
do you
paying.
haggle for something like that? Like, what's your starting point for haggling?
Oh, well, what you do is when you haggle, you just, offer a lower price. But like, are we charging per inch, or can, if I buy so many inches, can I get, a discount? So, Matt Long, he owns the gay bar in England. No, that's closed. But yeah, so I mean, I'm like watching that, and my buddy's like, "Oh, there's kids around," and I'm like, "It's Key West." I don't know. So we have some other photos. I thought that was interesting, and then there was another one that sent. I don't know. Facebook might clip us. Show the one of the aprons. This is good if you're cooking breakfast for your girlfriend, or perhaps if it's for your man friend. But yeah, no, it's bet you bought that straight up, no haggling. No, there would have definitely been haggling. So you see the apron right there, that has the dick apron. So there's a cheeseburger. Right. No, that's another thing. So I don't know, Laura, what would you do if someone was making you breakfast and they were wearing that? You didn't know though.
It would be me, and she'd wish that it wasn't the
Apron.
She wish that's funny. So yeah, they had another one too. I think I gave you another picture. I was like, ooh, that was a little rough, but yeah, there we go. Oh, there's one right there. So that's the apron. Yeah, pretty
Wow.
nice. There's a booby one.
So I want to go behind the scenes for a second of the show. Before the show started, Laura's still learning all the controls for the video, and she asked Matt, "Go easy on me," and Matt's just throwing her with all these pictures. Bring it up, zoom it in. Let's see. I'm sorry. I am enjoying this show way more than I should.
She is gonna learn trial by fire, and you know what? She's gonna be the best. So that's all right.
She is.
She's fine. I didn't even notice anything. Personally, I didn't. But all right. So the reason why I bring up shorts, Mike, do you feel like shorts? There's a limit for them being too tight for a man.
Too tight? You're going for like skinny jeans, skinny shorts type deal.
Are they too tight? Like, could they ever be too tight for a man?
Why would I don't understand the
Laura?
concept of the thought process that a man would ever even want to wear tight shorts in any way, shape, or form. Why?
That's why.
That's why.
Yeah. So, Laura,
Yes, dear.
what do you feel?
I feel
what are you feeling?
Well, if there's like one testicle that's stuck up here and one down here.
I'm glad you brought that
that's
up.
too tight.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So let's go to the photo of Exhibit A. Let's just be this guy sitting on this bench. And this guy was a singer in one of the bars in Key West I went to. And I thought it was interesting because you just couldn't help but zone in on it. Make jokes about me if you want, but I guarantee if you saw this picture or you saw this guy in person, it would be... and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm going to let Laura guess or Mike once they get it up there. and they'll tell you, you know, what that picture is. It would be the large gentleman with the guitar, and there he is. So when you look at him, what do you notice first? Like, we take a survey of him and what catches your eye.
Well, obviously, I go right to his balls.
I mean, he's just got a moose knuckle sitting right there. I mean, is that because his shorts are too tight? Wow, look at that.
I mean, you could see the whole outline here, and then whoop.
I
think that's what that is.
That means the shorts are too tight, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Thankfully,
that's
there's
just-
nothing hanging out the side, so it must be a bathing suit.
No, then I think, yeah, the shorts are way too tight. That's a moose knuckle. That's a, you know, those things are hitting the toilet water probably. So,
Ew.
I mean, that sucks. That's uncomfortable. That's never happened to me, but I got to imagine if the balls hit the toilet water and it's all cold. That's
Well,
not fun.
he must be comfortable.
Mike, that's what I mean by too tight. Is that too tight where you see the
I don't
ball
think
outline?
that's I think that is a factor of him sitting and they've been bunched up. I think if he was standing and we still saw the same moose knuckle,
See,
that would be a problem.
I'm glad you said that. So we were there for about 4 something. We were eating, and my buddy was like, I can't look at this guy. And it's funny that you say that because he did get up and he had a chance to readjust himself, go to the bathroom, take a break in between songs, came back down, and that was actually a picture after he sat back down. And I was like, look, the ball bags is still the same way. So it must be a pattern.
No slack to the
So
sack.
is it too big?
No slack to the sack.
Is it too big of balls or is it too short of shorts?
Well, it's kind of like when you're in size denial, right? Like, I mean, you know, like when someone's like, "Oh, I'm definitely an extra large," but you're really a double XL, right? And I think that's what's going on here. This guy's probably wearing like 38 shorts, and he probably should be wearing size 42.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So therefore, you know, you could light up a garage at nighttime with those legs, and he's in Key West. How's that possible?
Well, he's got a tan line.
At least he's not like serving ice cream to kids. I mean, you know.
Yeah, right.
Well, you don't know that.
That might be his day job.
He might.
He's definitely.
How you can't say that with certainty.
Yeah. So I spent a whole week. I was down there for 3 days, and that my friend photographed it and sent it to me. So you can hit up Rob about that one. But everybody noticed that. It's like you're just sitting there, you're on stage in front of everybody, like what the fuck. So I think his problem is tight pants. Too much pants.
Too much pants.
Not enough pants. Disgusting. So speaking of mushes, because as that guy mushed his balls in there, is there's a gentleman that had an airline turnaround. Listen to this one. American Airlines flight from Tokyo Narita to Dallas Fort Worth was placed into level 3 lockdown and diverted to Seattle Tacoma Airport after a passenger assaulted a flight attendant and banged on the flight deck door because the phone charger at her seat stopped working, and court documents allege that this happened. So her phone stopped charging, and she started banging on the flight deck door.
Why?
I feel like when people like that do stuff like that someone should come out of nowhere with like sweet chin music and just put her down. Like sweet chin music. Bam!
At the same token, we do live in a society where how bad does your anxiety go when you know your phone is losing a charge? The fact that you might lose the capability to look at your phone.
Or you can't do anything when you're in that air anyway.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can still access your phone in the air. Wait a second. Stop. Pause. You can still access your phone in the air. You have to turn it. You have to turn it in the airplane mode when you're taking.
But you
off
can't
when you're
take you can't do a text.
What you can't? I've done it.
No, that means you're on. That means you're on Wi-Fi. I know cell phones. There's no way. This is simply if there's a signal, you could send it. If there's no signal, you can't. Airplane mode will not allow you to do that unless you're connected to some program that enables you to do that, like Wi-Fi. If the plane has Wi-Fi, in this case,
I'm gonna have to look further into this. I don't agree with you.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you got fake news today, but it's real. The audience doesn't like your response, Mike. So, American Airlines.
I'm glad we're filming in front of a live studio audience tonight.
American Airlines flight AA60 departed Tokyo on Wednesday with just 60 passengers on board, including Waka Suzuki, swear that's the real name, a Japanese citizen who was connecting through Dallas with her mother en route to Cancun, Mexico, where they planned a vacation for 10 days. So you're going to risk your whole fucking vacation because you couldn't charge your phone.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Now, what you should do, which most normal people do, is they prepare for their trip, and they buy these things called battery banks. And if you can't charge it, you plug your phone in, and I use them all the time on planes, and they're very useful. You can get them for $5, $10, 30, 50, 200, 3,000, whatever, depending on how big it is, instead of being a cuck and just not fucking getting prepared properly. And so if I'm on this plane, I'm pissed. I'm like, really? Really? Like, someone should just like go put the sleeper hold on her. Be like, sleep, bitch, sleep.
Wait, what kind of sleeper hold? Like
the $1 Million Dream?
I was gonna say the $1 Million Dream,
the Cobra Clutch,
or the the Cobra Clutch.
Sleep. Your phone will charge while you're asleep.
Or the
sleep.
The Chris Benoit sleeper hold.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, if she's getting the plane diverted all the way back to Seattle, Washington, I think she's gonna get the Chris Benoit. I'm gonna breathe like that into her ear.
Wow.
And I don't mean in a bad sense. I mean like the crossface crippler. Mike's a sick fuck that. You know? So,
he is. That's true.
So, yeah. All I know is, according to court documents, Suzuki was initially calm when she boarded the flight and kept herself busy by watching a movie on her mobile phone. She must have been deep into this series I'm in called Black Sails. It's like Game of Thrones meets Pirates on Stars. So. You guys can sponsor us if you like that. A little plug there. But anyway.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take it deep.
Yeah, I'll be sponsored by anyone. So, busy been watching her movie on her mobile phone. But around 3 to 4 hours into the 11-hour flight. So, you're already off. You've already taken off. We haven't done the math that, well, if I watch a 3 to 4 hour movie on my phone, my battery perhaps may die. Now, maybe she was freaking out because she was going to be in a foreign country without her phone. You know, there are other solutions. They couldn't get it to work. Okay, put you in another seat. They would have did something. But this lady had to lose it. So, and as the plane was flying over the Pacific, Suzuki requested assistance from flight attendants because the phone charger at her seat didn't appear to be working. A flight attendant attempted to help Suzuki, but apparently couldn't resolve the issue, leading to Suzuki shouting at flight attendants, becoming increasingly hostile and belligerent towards crew members. Suzuki demanded flight attendants bring her items to resolve the issue, and when they didn't, Suzuki stands accused of running down the aircraft aisle from her seat in economy towards the flight deck. Another flight attendant attempted to stop her, but Suzuki allegedly pushed past her, stomped on her foot, and continued going until she got into the flight deck and started banging on the door, demanding help to resolve the phone charging issue. That is a lot. So the captain put the aircraft into level 3 lockdown and informed the FAA of a threat to the aircraft, while Suzuki was restrained with plastic flexi cuffs. That's right. She had to this got to the point where she had to have plastic flexi cuffs put on her. So, if you don't know what they
should have tased her.
Yeah, probably, right? The flight was diverted. Shh, go to sleep. Everybody would have been like, yes, the flight's going to keep going.
The whole flight erupts into applause.
Tase the shit out of her. So
just treat her like that one woman.
Make her poop herself
on that movie Airplane, where you just line up in a row and everybody on the plane gets. I
think there's a scene where a guy gets a blowjob. He's given a blowjob to calm down on Airplane. I feel like there is like, oh, he's all sweating. She's like, I'll help you out.
Wow.
Yeah, there is. Look it up.
I don't recall.
I'm sure
I believe you.
Did you ever see Airplane?
I'm sure it helps out with anxiety. Do doctors actually prescribe that? I mean,
blowjob for anxiety? Yeah.
If you're having a panic attack on an airplane, can you just look at a random girl and be like, "Look, this is medical"?
Yeah, I saw it was.
No, no, you cannot.
I saw it. It was actually a prescription right after erectile dysfunction.
I mean, if it's for medical reasons, I mean,
it'd be interesting. It has to be mutual. But Suzuki was restrained with plastic flexi cuffs, as I said before. The flight was diverted to Seattle, where Suzuki refused to deplane for 25 minutes. That's right. They landed, and she was like, I'm not getting off the plane. I'm not getting off the plane. Wow.
Well, she shouldn't have played the game.
I want to see what
the
this lady looks like. I wonder if she's like 5'1" or something, and she's just like gripping this whole plane back. So they should have put her like in like the STFU or the figure 4 leg lock or something.
Yes.
Something like that. Dean Malenko or Ric Flair just jumps out of the baggage bin and whoo! Just put her right in the figure 4 leg lock.
What was that? Well, can you? No, you did like. Woo! Like there was a lot of air with that last one.
That's the Toxic Mike's woo. Woo! Woo! Sounds like an owl getting fingered. So
what? Wow. How do you know what an owl getting fingered sounds like?
A owl, not owl. So, according to an affidavit, Suzuki told Customs and Border Protection officers at Seattle Airport that the flight attendants were rude and dismissive towards her. She admitted knocking on the flight deck door because she wanted assistance with her phone charging issue. Suzuki also admitted that she punched and elbowed one of the flight attendants, but claims the crew spat on her and pushed her to the floor. She apparently didn't have any alcohol on board and told officers that she doesn't take any prescription medication. Suzuki is accused of knowingly and intentionally interfering with flight crew members the FBI is investigating. So you're going to get a Federale because you wanted to be an asshole. So where's she from, though? Oh, she might not get a She's a Japanese citizen. Who knows what happens? Oh, they're going to be like, go home. That was me. That was me to be like, 5 years, motherfucker. 3 years. That's a federal crime. Like, what?
Oh, my God, if Godfrey went into jail for 5 years.
I would do my podcast from the cell.
Remoting in.
Mm-hmm.
The video just has a line of guys outside your cell waiting for the show to end so that they can take advantage of you.
No, that wouldn't happen.
Because you've been traded for a pack of cigarettes for the past 3 months.
And that would never happen.
The debt has built up.
I would cut off every penis in the whole place if I had to survive.
Really? I feel like you would do like from Oz, Beechard. You would just,
Well, I've never watched Oz, but I hear there's a lot of man butt sex.
How have you never seen Oz?
Well, obviously, Mike's an expert on it. And
I have.
He has scenes cataloged in his spank bank.
I mean.
Wow. Okay. Well, what about Orange is the New Black?
I'm not into that either. I just think it's the female version of Oz. I mean, I hit a wall with it. You watch it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's predictable.
Oh, man.
Okay. It
So
feels like
good.
it's just the female version of Oz.
I cried when it was over. I was so sad.
Oh, the show's over?
Yes.
Forever?
Yes.
Forever.
Yes. They had the
It's
season
gone.
finale.
Series finale.
Series finale, season finale. There was a finale. There was some diddling with a girl, and they.
Oh, there was tons of diddling on there. There had to be at least 5 diddling scenes.
There was a lot of diddles.
There was a lot of diddlers.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of finger skills going on. That for
Yes, they were playing the flute.
No, that's
That
not.
was my left hand too.
What the fuck? That's not playing the flute.
What is it?
I don't know what it is, but I thought the skin flute
Isn't
was
the
something
flute?
else.
Yeah, that's not that.
So you basically spent a whole week photographing men and penises? Nope, just about 10 minutes that day because I had to get a shot and not be embarrassed. Well, there were a lot of people around it, so it was like flies to shit. I had to wait for everybody to clear. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like everybody wanted to touch them. So if you're the salesperson, like, oh, you want to touch the cock again? Like I'd be saying, oh, again. Like everybody's like, oh, can I touch it? Do you want to touch it? Like I would go crazy working there. You know what I mean? Two for one Johnson. But it's a beer bottle opener. I mean, that's so literally you could say to someone, yeah, get me a beer. The beer bottle opener's on our fridge. Just grab it by the shaft.
Whoa.
I mean, you got to get the big one. They look like missiles. So in Key West, if you didn't know, chickens and roosters are protected species.
Yes.
So they run around everywhere. So and Cubans, I believe, consider a rooster a symbol of strength. So it's in Little Havana a lot, and it's in a lot of southern parts of Florida, Miami, Key West. And so you see roosters, they're just crowing all day long, 24 hours a day.
A lot of cats too, right? Isn't that
There's
cats in Key West?
I didn't see nearly as many cats as roosters. But I did see a few.
Somewhere there's cats everywhere. From Hemingway.
Oh, Hemingway did live down there.
Yeah, then he had a bunch of cats to take care of the mice. That's like a historical fact.
It's an historical fact.
It is.
Yeah,
historical fact.
That's true. And there are
I know things.
Well, my buddy has a bunch of cats, but he doesn't live in that area, but it keeps the mice away for sure, so that is a good thing. Interesting place. Food was decent. Cool bar culture, easy to get around. I stayed on a sailboat. That was kind of cool, but small. I hit my head like 5 times probably. Like it's I would do it again, but it has to be a bigger boat.
We need a bigger boat.
Hotels were pretty goddamn expensive too, down there, like $500 a night. So,
Jesus Christ, the hotel becomes my vacation. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, well, right. The hotel pretty much, I believe in Key West at that point, because a lot of people have flocked down there, was the most expensive in the U.S. at that point, right now.
How was the COVID protocols?
There was 0.
Zero. Did you already say that? I'm sorry if I missed it.
It's
No.
Florida.
Well, so it's kind of weird and it's annoying. And whether people want to wear the mask or the mask, I'll just go with whatever. I don't really. Life's too short to fucking worry about small shit.
Right.
But I had a mask on me all the time because in restaurants you have to sit on, you have to wear it. I guess through certain parts of the restaurant, and when you sit down, you take it off. But like some places don't enforce it. Some places they don't give a shit. Key West, most places didn't care. I'm fully vaccinated, but I get it. Certain places wanted you to wear it in, which is fine with me too. But it's different. Everywhere has different rules. Like if you're on a plane or an airport, you have to wear a mask, right? Which is kind of annoying. I didn't really notice it. I got over it after like 10 minutes wearing a mask through the whole flight, right? But it's weird because they're like, well, you have to wear a mask. Oh, but if you're eating or drinking, you may take off the mask. And I'm like, oh, cool. That makes complete sense. 1,000, and I'm not an anti-masker by far, but I mean, Jesus, like, if you're there nomming on food, aren't there like spit particles and shit going up in the air? Like, I'm like sneaking M&Ms like I'm a fucking chipmunk, like under my mask and
but
shit.
again, if you look at it, the way that they're saying it is, it's not to eliminate the possibility of catching it. It's to cut down the chance of it. So if you're masked up for 90% of wherever you're at, you only take it off to eat, yes, there's still the chance of catching it, but you've cut down the possibility of spreading it substantially
I get that.
because you're cutting down the amount that your mask is off.
But then you got to like have your flight stewardess be like, oh, are you eating? Oh, put your mask up. That never happened to me, but I'm pretty sure they've had to have that conversation.
I'm sure that especially restaurant and bar workers are just annoyed with it.
I'd be like,
I can only
Captain,
imagine what they have to deal with on a daily basis.
Can you open the emergency door so I could kill myself? That's,
wow.
I'm going to just fly out
I wonder
right
if they've
now.
ever been asked that.
Was dark.
Well, normally people go to the Golden Gate
I mean,
Bridge,
can you
they just
imagine
jump
having
off.
to deal with that all the time, though, if you're a flight attendant?
I couldn't. A restaurant, flight attendant, anything where you're dealing with the public and you have to constantly, because I don't see it all the time, but we know it happens, question people about their mask and if they have it on properly. It's got to be just mind-numbing.
Yeah, well, it has to be mind-numbing, and then certain things in the airport, you're like, things that make you think, like, okay, I'm going to check my baggage online, do my self-check-in, I go to the line, I drop my baggage, and I'm in line with people that didn't do the self-check-in. How's that make any sense, right? What the fuck did I even do it for?
We're just about done with masks though now at this point, right?
Not in the airport. You're wearing that the whole fucking time.
Airport.
Yeah, well, we're done.
Medical offices.
Yeah, we're pretty much done in terms of states. Like, I believe Jersey is one of the last holdouts, and it's already been talked about that by the end of this week, by Friday, right before Memorial Day, that they're going to be taking away the mandate for indoors. But now you've got private companies that now have the chance to dictate whether or not you wear it. So now it's still going to be a guessing game whether or not you go somewhere and you have to wear it. But for the most part, we're going to be done with them.
Yeah, I mean, it is a guessing game, so just keep one with you just in case. It's annoying, but, at least it's progress. That's what I'm happy about, at least. We're seeing stuff over it. But Florida is, compared to most places, pretty open. When you go into a lot of retail stores, you still have to have a mask on. Most retail establishments are corporate establishments. And I do get that, having worked for a corporation, that, then they will ask the employees how they feel. Right?
I think Disney is letting it go. They were holding out even in Florida, and I think they're letting go of their mask mandate.
Yeah.
If they haven't already.
So, but my thing is, like, in some places they're like, if you're fully vaccinated, I'm like, well, how are you going to prove that? Assholes are going to lie.
I heard they're having what do you call it? Like counterfeit cards starting now.
Well, it's a felony if you get caught.
To be sold.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
I saw
it's
TikTok.
not that deep. Like, who would do that?
I saw a TikTok where they kind of goofed on the individuals, because a lot of them are Republicans who are going out to get these false vaccination cards, and kind of goofing on the fact that they complain so much about people falsifying documentation, illegal aliens, people with voting, and everything else, and they're there falsifying documentation because it fits their narrative of what they feel is right or wrong.
You're gonna get me started on something I didn't want to bring up, but I will bring it up later.
I saw it on TikTok, and it's what TikTok is supposed to be, like, fun and lighthearted, and the guy was making a joke about it, but I was like, that makes so much friggin' logical sense.
What
Like,
pisses me off?
assholes.
What pisses me off about a lot of people And how you know someone is full of shit is if their standards don't apply to them,
Yeah.
right? And it becomes convenient to like kind of dismiss those standards only when it applies to them. And I hate that kind of stuff because then it's not really a standard; it's a tool for them to control whatever outcome they're trying to control, right? And
Absolutely.
we see this a lot in politics and public policy making and other things. And you're like. Yeah, and then, for example, that was a great example Mike just brought up. Like, oh, documentation, this and that. Oh, follow the law, do it by list. How about, oh, but it's okay now because you don't like the law. Oh, the law and order party doesn't like the law. Oh, now it's okay, I understand. Cool, go fuck yourself.
No different than storming a, Capitol building.
Oh, yeah. So that's a whole other thing, too. But, I hate that that's a pet peeve of mine. When people have a standard they want to hold everyone else to, and then they don't do it themselves. Everybody messes up. There's no thing as perfection, in human life, right? But
except for me.
Yeah. Is it? I know. So, I think what you got to do is, you have reasonable expectation of people, but they also have to, at the same time, if you have that standard, you should ask yourself, can I follow that standard? Right? Oh,
Absolutely.
If you can't, then why do you expect others to follow that standard? And then people will fight like hell to the death to pretend like they did so they can control other people. Because to me, when you make a standard that you can't follow yourself, I feel it's a tool for you to control things or an outcome or a person, in my opinion. Because why else would you do that? I can't stand people like that. Like I said, no one's perfect. People are fuck ups. People are a lot easier to tolerate is if they're honest about their fuck up, right? Some people, won't ever admit to their fuck ups, and people tend to hate those type of people. So, things like that just blow my mind. I think about what's going on right now, and we'll get back to less serious stuff in a few seconds. The Israel-Palestine conflict, right? Mm. And I seen a reporter get fired from the AP. And I might bring that up real quick. And, the reason why I bring that up is, just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you're Israeli. Now, there's a birth rate trip and things of that nature. And just because you're Israeli doesn't mean you're Jewish. You could be Israeli and not Jewish, actually. I know that sounds crazy. Just like people get the word Arab, which is regional, actually, and Islam confused, which is a religion. Judaism is a religion. So the thing is, Israel and Palestine, you're starting to see people criticize it. And when people criticize it, they're getting smeared in the press. They're getting fired because, you have people that want to control the narrative, right? Just like Mike talked about. And these same people that were saying, oh, now I stand with Israel. Well, when they were chanting in Charlottesville, Jews will not replace us, those same people wouldn't make Trump say those people are not good people, right? So those same people now are anti-Semitism. I'm always anti-Semitism because I have a lot of Jewish friends, and it's not necessary. But that should not be exclusively tied to questioning the methods of the Israeli government and army. And if you want to call someone an anti-Semite for it, you're full of shit because you're a hypocrite. Because guess what? No one's saying Israel doesn't have the right to defend themselves. But at the same time, if you're going to go down that road, then prove it. And, I always laugh when I see Bernie Sanders criticize the situation because he's Jewish. Real hard to call him an anti-Semite. Oh, yeah, I know you could be an anti-Semite and a Jew, right? So here's my thing. It's one thing to go after that type of behavior, which is wrong, but it's another thing to kind of tie it into the actual conflict itself. Anybody that's watching with open eyes, I think the body count's 260 to 12. Come on. And these same people like Ben Shapiro were touting Dr. Seuss, who is known for being an anti-Semite and in the 30s writing anti-Semitic cartoons, touting him and defending him from cancel culture. So if cancel culture is something you're against, this is how twisted these people get, then you will want to hear him out. That's what he would say, right? That's freedom of speech. Now, this lady, this reporter, wants to talk about the Palestinian conflict, and he wants her canceled because it's politically convenient at that point, right? And that's the type of people, and politics is the best example to kind of talk about that behavior because we see it a lot, and it's the best. It's really the biggest problem that you can see as far as, letting people express who they are. But that made me think about it when Mike was talking about that. And now that side's like, oh, we're against the rise in anti-Semitic crimes. Okay, cool. That's funny. But when Charlottesville happened, you would not acknowledge it, right? So, and I remember that distinctly. And to me, it makes me laugh. I'm like, I can have friends that are Jewish, and I do, and I talk to them. And I also could say, I don't think the Israeli government is handling the response fairly and correctly. I'm not saying no one has a right not to defend themselves, but then people try to cancel people because of what happens. And there's an organization that you can look up called AIPAC, very influential with their money. You can Google it. I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole on it, but they have money in both sides of the fence in the political landscape. Very, very influential. And read up on them. You hear about these names all throughout. So that's something where, man, that's been bothering me because, I'm going to give you the reporter's name. This reporter got fired from the AP because she was not pro-Israeli. But is that, I hear these same people on the right say, oh, you can't do that. You're silencing their voice. Well, but when it's politically convenient, you don't have the same standards, so you are completely full of shit. Oh, is it up to the other people that you say don't do it to reinforce that? Is that how it works? No. And this is how people chase their tail. Around and around and around and around and around. Because you lie so much, it just shows how unauthentic certain people are. Like Ben Shapiro, really, really unauthentic. I'm sorry. I know some of you hard right-wingers out there love that guy, but he's completely full of shit. And, if I would love to get in debate with him because he would just yell and try to talk over you because he wouldn't be able to.
I think he's a very well-spoken dude.
I'm not saying he's not well-spoken, but he's well-spoken and full of shit.
I don't think he's full of shit.
And my first question would be, hey, Ben, why are you such a piece of shit?
He might be a piece of shit. Whether he's full of shit is different. Now, I've actually just started getting to know this guy, recently, and I've been falling down the rabbit hole of, watching TikToks and interviews.
Take his phone away.
And I've actually been like, wow, this guy, well-spoken.
He is well-spoken.
Does his research. And comes up with valid points and is a great debater.
He is a great debater, but he comes
I would
up,
have to say
I don't
he's
know
a
about
master.
valid points. Masturbator, nice. So this is from Emily Wilder. She was a reporter at the Associated Press as a news associate, a junior level position on May 3rd, following 10 months of reporting for the Arizona Republic. Right, so. Last Monday, the Stanford College Republicans launched a smear campaign against me, attempting to expose my already public history of activism for Palestine human rights at Stanford University. And it's very clear to delineate the two. Because you support Palestinian human rights does not mean you support Hamas. And that's where people try to kind of meld them together. That's not true. I know Palestinians, they don't support Hamas. They don't want any of this to go on. They just want to live peacefully. They want to live like regular people. So understand that these governments or organizations don't always represent the people. So just because the Israeli army does that kind of stuff doesn't mean that Israelis are okay with that. Just like us in America. And the same thing with Palestinians. So, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you guys can Google her. Her name's Emily Wilder. I was transparent with my editors, and they reassured me I would not face punishment for my previous activism. I told my editors we're only hoping to support me as I received the onslaught of sexist, anti-Semitic, racist, and violent comments and messages. Less than 40 hours later, the AP fired me. The reason they gave me was supposed violations of AP social media policy sometime between my first day and Wednesday. And in that interim, powerful conservatives like Senator Tom Cotton, Ben Shapiro, and Robert Spencer repeatedly lambasted me online. When I asked my managers what exact tweets were in violation of the policy or how, they refused to tell me. In the end, rather than take whatever misstep I made as a teaching opportunity, as is the point of the news associate program, it appears they took it as an opportunity to make me a scapegoat. Right. So they made her a scapegoat because she questions the approach of the Israeli government and their military. So unfortunately, because she was pro-Palestinian. So these same individuals say freedom of speech, that shouldn't be canceled. Gina Carano, right? Oh, she shouldn't be canceled, that and this. Well, and then the same people that said that were Ben Shapiro. I guarantee you can hear him talking about her. If you Googled it right now, and Gina Carano, Ben Shapiro saying the exact opposite. He is full of fucking shit. And it's that simple. I hate people like that. I despise him because he's not trying to provide value to the audience. He's trying to provide value to his bank account by fanning the flames. It's easy to pick the low-hanging fruit and piss people off. It is. I think to piss people off and, low-hanging fruit and just kind of touch your eyeball, I think it's the most lowest form of entertainment available. I really do, because it's easy. It's like taking candy from a baby, and if that's what your existence is, then you're just in it for money and you're a complete sellout. It's true. And so people like that drive me nuts because those same people were defending Dr. Seuss, and he was a known anti-Semite who made cartoons in the 30s, and they were defending, no, don't cancel him. No, and they weren't even trying to cancel him. So it's just interesting when you see the tail these people chase. Like, are they really genuine? Do they really care about the issue, or is it just a tool to get where they need? And that's what it is. They use these things as a tool. So are they genuine? You know what I mean? I just, people blow my mind. And this lady was, her dream to be a reporter, and they definitely silenced her. And it's just, pretty sad because we're supposed to be America. That kind of stuff's not supposed to happen. She didn't say, oh, people deserve to die, none of that stuff. If you really look at the Palestinian conflict and you really look at it from afar with an honest set of glasses, because some of you are going to go in with inherent bias, their whole country is sealed off and they can't get out. It's like an open air. It's like an open air jail. Like, they're sealed off. Egypt's blocking them. So what do you think is going to happen? It's an apartheid type style position for them. And this is, Nelson Mandela was alive, he would be condemning this. You know what I mean? And it's, if you're for peace, ask yourself one simple question, and then we're going to move on. If you're really for peace, then you should say to yourself, how come that person doesn't deserve peace? And I'm better than them. Are they attacking your family? I don't know. Do you hate them? You got to ask yourself that. So it just, to me, I don't see how anybody can honestly look at what's going on and say it's not heavy-handed. I don't get it. So, you all right, Mike? Mike's like, wow, this is deep. So that's how we do on the show.
I had an itch on my head.
You got an itch on your head, yeah. So just don't be anybody's sucker. You know what I mean?
Don't suck.
Yeah, don't be anybody's sucker. So,
Ben Shapiro, we'd like you to come on the show.
Oh, that'd be great, but he won't, because I don't really have anything of value for him. He's not going to gain anything, so he won't come. We'll hashtag him. I'm pretty sure he has like a bunch of assistants watching. So, but you could tell when someone has a agenda rather than a genuine opinion. So, I don't know. Who am I? Just jerk off.
Who are you?
I know.
Piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit.
Oh, God. Anyway, so, is your state gross? We get it a little bit lighted up. So, everybody's like, yeah, it's done with politics. Woo, thank God. Sweet Jesus. Study ranks Pennsylvania as the fourth grossest state in the U.S. Number 1 was Virginia, 2 South Carolina, 3 North Carolina, both Carolina. So they're saying that's just a giant shithole. 5 was Texas. So that's one list, right? But they didn't really give me any details.
And then you're saying PA is after that?
Oh, PA has like a really high ranking in multiple lists I've seen. Like, I just went to Zippia.com, and it goes by states, the grossest states. Number 1, Virginia, like I said. Number 4, Pennsylvania. But don't you worry, Dirty Jersey. You are not far behind at number 6.
Wow.
Yeah. Connecticut.
What is their qualifications for dirty?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So that's a very poignant question. So, Connecticut is 7, Georgia's 8, Delaware 9. Who wants to go to Delaware? Sorry.
I'm in Delaware.
New York is 10. Yeah, New York, you made it too. You thought you were going to get out of here, you dirty sons of bitches. So,
how are we dirtier than dirt?
How we determine this is from Zippia.com. We started with undisputed metrics of grocery, dirty air, trash, or the percentage of each state that is landfill. Now, here's the funny thing. In Philadelphia, if you're on the right hot summer day, there's a term we use called trash juice, or it smells like hot garbage out here. You could smell on a hot summer day in Philadelphia, If the trash hasn't been picked up, it smells like hot fucking garbage. And whoever lives in Philly knows what I'm talking about. In certain parts, you're like, oh my God. It's just like this intense, humidified stench of ash.
Have you ever had a Jersey Turnpike?
Is that like a sexual position?
Sounds like it.
Is that like a Cleveland steamer?
What's it? Cincinnati bow tie?
Hey, baby, I want to do the Jersey Turnpike to you.
It's a bartender joke. You take the wet rag
and
you wipe the thing and then you squeeze it into the shot glasses. They call it a Jersey Turnpike.
Oddly enough, here's the other measuring. Spread of illness like the flu. Jersey, New York had a real tough time. To measure the dirtiness of the air, we referred air filters delivered throughout ranking on air quality. So they measured the air. For trash rating, we simply use the EPA's data on the percentage of each state's land that is taken up by landfills, which is pretty scary because PA is 4, which means there's a lot of fucking trash in the state.
Well,
did you know Philadelphia is home to Fraggle Rock? That is where Fraggle Rock actually is.
What?
Yeah, it's below
down the Fraggle Rock.
Yep. It's below it's below Citizens Bank Park. Yeah. So to measure for the trash rating, they use the EPA's data. So taken up by landfill. So Virginia, number 1. I'm glad Virginia is finally doing something that's notable. Yeah, that's good. That's good. New Jersey made number 6. You know, they just got beat up by Texas. So Texas stepping up. Pennsylvania's 4. Dirty sons of bitches. You know, I'm surprised Georgia's 8, but that means there's a lot of landfill. So here we go. While states may have pinged our gross radar, that doesn't mean they're absolutely disgusting. Okay. In fact, each of them has some pretty charming downright jaw-dropping sites. Lori Caverns, Boneyard Beach, and Big Bend National Park are just a few gorgeous places worth a visit. So they could also stand to improve the air quality, a little less trashy, and I always thought a little less trashy was always automatically attached to New Jersey. So I think they're getting boned on this one. And consider foods not based around mayo, but hey, who are we to judge? So what foods are based around mayo?
What do you mean? What foods are based around mayo?
Yeah, I said
egg salad sandwiches.
Oh, really? So I guess we have too many egg salad sandwiches here.
Like egg salad, potato salad, macaroni salad.
Ugh.
Any kind of salad.
I don't want any of that shit.
Any kind of deli salad, yeah.
So
coleslaw.
What is the least grossest state? What do you guys got for me?
Oh, is it California?
That would be incorrect.
Oh, damn.
Canada.
That's another country.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay, Montana.
May God have mercy on your soul. So Montana's 49, but Alaska's 1, Montana's 2.
Oh.
Nebraska's.
I was close. Hey.
You were close.
I was close too.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
You may be in proximity, but not actual country.
You were not anywhere near.
California's the 31st dirtiest state.
Okay, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty clean.
Yeah, pretty clean. A lot of northeast cities are on here. Louisiana's pretty dirty, not surprised. Tennessee, Rhode Island, Ohio, they're in the top 20. Indiana, Mississippi, 27. Hawaii's 28. That's surprising. Someone lives in North Dakota. That's surprising too. So that's on the list. But, Iowa, Arizona, I thought would be dirtier, because all the dirt and stuff.
It's very clean there.
Is it?
It's so clean. Have you never been there?
I have when I was like 15, but I didn't notice. I thought I was going to die.
It's pretty hot. Yeah.
My dad broke down and we were driving across country, and it was literally like a scene from one of those moments on a show when someone breaks down in the middle of the desert and there's no one fucking around. And I said, I was 15 at the time. I was like, so this is how it's going to end. And a guy came out of nowhere with a tow truck. We went to a diner that was filled with flies. We opened the door, and they were like, it was like people waiting in front of the door, except it was like 20 flies.
Except they have trash pigs there.
Trash pigs?
Javelinas.
The fuck's a trash pig? They eat trash?
They're.
I dated a trash pig in high school.
I bet you did.
Wasn't that a slam pig? Isn't that a slam pig?
It's called a javelina. And I only know this because my best friend lives in Arizona.
Does she have a javelina?
I thought she was going to say my best friend's a trash pig.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I saw all kinds of weird things in Florida, and like anytime I go to Florida, I go to myself at least once or twice. Where I'm in fucking Florida, I go into my buddy's house, and it made me think of this. What you're bringing up, I walk in, and then I think a dog's running over, and I had to look twice. It was a pig.
Yes.
a full potbelly pig, and I named him Leroy.
Are you sure it wasn't? Wait,
No.
where were you? You were in Florida.
Yeah, no, it wasn't one of those. Those are wild, it looks like.
Yeah, they have them in the zoos and stuff too, but I don't know if they have any for pets, but they're. That was it. I didn't mean to put that.
Yeah,
up.
let's kill.
I'm sorry, Toxic Mom.
Let's kill the thing that eats trash.
That was an accident.
It tastes like margarine.
What'd you put up?
Somebody had killed one.
Oh.
No, it's all right. We put fake cocks on here that are made of wood, so
but
standard's really high.
As long as you didn't put porn up there, we're good.
Yeah, but something that would get Mike hard that we'll talk about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is cicadas, because Mike likes eating cicadas because he did it on the show a couple weeks ago, if you guys remember. There were cicadas in that bunch of bugs.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
I've eaten cicadas. They're actually really, again, the best I've had were grasshoppers and or scorpions.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, Mike. This is a really important time for foodies and cicadas. The cicadas are coming, and foodies are getting ready to feast.
Absolutely, dude. They're big. They're cheap. You can
But there's billions of brood X cicadas, as they're called. They are emerging after being underground for 17 years, and as many in the eastern U.S. anxiously await their arrival, that has to be sarcasm, others are preparing their plates for what they say is a delicacy. So far this year, the cicadas have been spotted in Washington, D.C., and several states, including Pennsylvania. Ooh, Mike, maybe one will hop on my back and land here. Michigan, West Virginia, New York, and Georgia. The winged bugs, notice that a lot of these states we're listing, we're on the gross state list, and the cicadas are going to be there. So they're like, oh, it smells like ass there. Let's land there. So the winged bugs do not emerge silently. The sound of the swarm can reach up to 100 decibels.
I feel like I heard that they're loud.
Yeah. People, especially when Mike's chewing on them, people have described so many bugs in one place that it appeared the ground was moving. And there are countless reports of people holding or being covered in multiple cicadas. Jessica Franzo, a professor of food policy and ethics at Johns Hopkins University, told CBSN on Friday that the insects are really important and are the sign of an incredible moment. So it's a true testimonial to nature's resilience, as she says. With all the major challenges we face with climate change, urbanization, loss of plentiful diversity, it is incredible they've survived, she said. The last time we saw these little critters was 17 years ago, and they have just kept a couple of weeks to come above ground, mature, woo their mates, breed, and then die. So 2 weeks, if you don't fuck, you die. That's the life of cicada. You better get laid or you're going to die. Wow. There are going to be a lot of people not being too choosy. Maybe that's a good thing. So before they can meet at the end of their natural life cycle, many will end up on people's plates. Maybe not in the U.S. or Europe, Franzo said, because of the ick factor, but worldwide, billions of people consider the short-lived insects a special staple. In Mexico, many eat grasshoppers. In Thailand, crickets. And in Kenya, termites. I can't imagine a termite. That is disgusting. So it's really common around the world to eat insects seasonally for their taste, for their nutritional importance, Franzo said. And even here in the United States, some Native American populations consume cicadas in times of hardship.
Look at that. They have it on like
I felt like a cicada was tickling my throat.
Mike, it's on a skewer.
When their land was taken.
Ugh, so foul.
When their land was taken from them and they faced starvation, for some Native American populations, these foods have historical importance for their survival, but it's all about what you're used to. So it's also good for the environment, they say. As the planet warms due to climate change, we need to think about our diets, Franzo said. Yeah, I'm going to replace my diet with cicadas. Go fuck yourself. Food systems, the way we produce food, the way we move food around the world is contributing to 30% of total greenhouse emissions. Yes, we know that, but I'm still not eating cicadas. So, Mike, are you going to get some of these cicadas?
Absolutely.
You're going to get a fresh batch, like a fresh ear of corn?
I might have to.
Yeah.
You guys are all dogging me for this.
No one's not dogging you. I'm just saying it's disgusting.
And it's so fucking, it's delicious. It's good for you. I don't get it.
So how many times did you have to poop after that?
I didn't have to. I mean, not normally, not any more than normal.
Well, now that you're off that keto diet, you're going to.
But I've still got the crickets still back here in the booth that I will while I'm doing a show will still enjoy a good handful of.
You have crickets left?
Yes.
That is so yummy.
They're delicious.
Ew.
If you could just get your mental past what they are, quote unquote, in terms of being a bug, and just take it as an animal. I mean, it's no different than us eating pigs or horses or shrimp. It's just another animal in the world that I'm deciding to eat for protein.
Why do you have to be so logical?
Because it's very, very
And
logical.
foul.
It's no different than any other thing.
I'm going to get protein from vegetables at that point.
We deem them a bug.
They are a bug.
It is bug.
It is an insect.
No, I'm saying we deem them a bug, and when we deem something a bug
What if it
becomes
came
something that we're
alive
not
and-
allowed to have on the food list.
What if it came alive and danced on your throat?
Then I'd be like, Jiminy Cricket, I love you.
Yeah, it would feel weird. Yeah, so the guy, and by the way, the cryptocurrency market keeps crashing, just like but I say hold steady if you got money in it, because it will come back up. But I'm not a financial advisor though. But that is fun too, right? Anybody have any doggy coin? No? Yeah?
No,
Doge?
I'm not
Doge?
following the trend of everybody else.
Okay.
No.
No.
Mike's afraid he might have to tip him. Just a tip. Just a tip. Cicadas are disgusting. Mike, we got to make sure you get a fresh batch of these cicadas. We got to find out where you can get some of these 7-year cicadas. Or 17 years? Is it 7 years or 17 years? Anyway, it's a long time.
17.
Wow, 17. That means
I just read an article that they're really important for the ecosystem, so don't try and kill them. I was like, ew.
me not like the lantern bug that everybody's always trying to step on.
Right. Yeah, not like those. These ones are considered to be really, because everything eats them. So it was I'm trying to remember what I read in the article. So it said that it was really important for the cycle of life with our ecosystem.
Well, maybe people will start to eat it, with the changes that the pandemic has brought on.
Obviously, top of the food chain behind me is going to eat them. So
I can't wait for someone to start a scam where, like, if you eat cicadas and you have erectile dysfunction, it will get rid of it. And they're like, and all of a sudden the cicadas are just getting bought up like crazy. So pandemic's winding down, but I've always talked about this. I found this interesting article. We'll wrap up with this on the New York Times. How the pandemic has changed attitudes toward wealth. Americans found that money cannot buy everything, and they use their wealth to build relationships and help others, according to two recent surveys. In the early days of the pandemic, Jason Norton was enjoying the comfortable life he had built for himself. A father of 3, he manages about a $220 million for clients around his community in Carlton, Georgia, about an hour west of Atlanta. But in the course of the past year, he saw employees struggle financially and emotionally, clients question what they were doing, and a close uncle die from COVID-19. His views on wealth began to shift. I used to think of wealth as a financial independence to do what you want to do when you want to do, said Mr. Norton, founder and chief executive of Norton Financial. So, my perspective has shifted. Now I view wealth more as a tool. Mr. Norton is not alone in his evolving attitudes toward the wealth. The pandemic has changed how Americans view wealth in far-reaching ways, according to two recent surveys. Even for the wealthiest, the coronavirus crisis challenged the notion that money could buy anything. Sure, a few could charter a plane to take them to a private home in a scheduled location, but who could go out to their favorite restaurant or even buy toilet paper during the worst of the pandemic? I was completely fine with toilet paper. The toilet paper thing, I say that's evolution at work. So, we thought we always be able to do things we wanted, but you couldn't because it was closed, said Mr. Norton 39. We thought we could buy whatever we wanted, but you couldn't because it wasn't available. So people still worry about taxes, and no one likes large unexpected expenses, but health, particularly COVID-19 related concerns, have surged almost to the top of the list of worries, a survey of 400 investors found. The survey, entitled Why a Wealth, was released Friday by wealth management firm Boston Private in a follow-up to a 2018 survey. So about 60% of respondents said the pandemic had caused them to reevaluate the perception of wealth. But there's a huge generational disparity. 78% of millennials and 73% of Generation X respondents said that the pandemic had changed how they plan to use their wealth in the future. But only 26% of baby boomers and the same percent of the silent generation said the same thing. One survey participants don't necessarily define wealth as accumulating a lot of financial capital, said Gerald Baker, ahead of the Center for Wealth Planning Excellence at Boston Private. It's about being successful in what they do. COVID has really made them redefine what it means to enjoy what they do and redefine success. And I think that right there is the theme, because, you know, money can't buy you everything. It could definitely be a tool to do what you want, but what money will never be able to buy, and this is what this article has really touched on, but it is saying, is time, right? You can't buy more time. So, you know, do what you do. We talk about this all the time. Do what you love. And, you know, I've been saying this, you know, in various ways on various weeks of the show or various other episodes, that people in the U.S. are starting to realize that. That's why people are like, how come these people don't want to work? Oh, they don't want to work. Because you know what? They're like, fuck it. What's the point? I'm going to do something else. I always hear people bitch it. You don't like the job? Go get another job. You don't have to be there. And now I hear, oh, I can't get somebody to make my shitty cheeseburger. These motherfuckers don't want to work. You can't have it both ways, my friend. You can't have it both ways. Some people do want to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at this, a lot of people are saying it. For who, for what, right? Like, you know, time, family, friends, whatever is more important to you. You know, people are like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. And, you know, I'm glad to see that shift happen in the U.S. finally, because I always felt like a lot of us were fucking donkeys with carrots being dangled in front of our face. You know what I mean? I had jobs like that where I could make more money. You know what I mean? And guess what? I just was like, I'm going to take less or make more money at a different job. But listen, Mike just gave me the middle finger, so I'm going to start wrapping things up. That's from Key West, Mike. Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for tuning in for the special Sunday Fun Day. We will be back next week at the regular time, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. And you know where to find us. You know the deets. ToxicRadio.net, iTunes, Google Play Podcasts, all that stuff. Sharing is caring. Subscribe. Support us that way. It's free. We love you. And this is Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.